Joined by Darius Vines here at Braves Fan Fest. Now, things have kind of quieted down a little bit over here, but it was wild pretty much all day. Bad weather didn't affect anything at all. And for Darius, our guest sitting with us, first time being at Fan Fest, Darius. How was it this year?
It was honestly pretty fun. I was here last year a little bit, but this year I was definitely a lot more interactive with a lot more people. So, it's everything I love. I love interacting with the fans. I love getting to know people. Can't complain.
And we were talking off the air. You're from Oxnard, California, and I was mentioning the fact that surely you have gone to see training camp with the Dallas Cowboys, which they have out there every summer.
Yeah, I have. Not unfortunately, but fortunately for other people, I'm not really a Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
I'm a Chargers fan. We just hired Jim Harbaugh, so hopefully that turns a couple things around. But yeah, just going to the Cowboys training camp as a kid. I was a big football fan, still am. I loved it. I loved everything about it. Definitely had a lot of. It's kind of like this, where it's almost like a little fan fest within the training camp. You get to interact with a lot of guys and watch them do what they do, the little routines, and that's just things you want to see when you're a kid and kind of growing up.
So St. Bonaventure High, you're the 2016 Ventura County Star Player of the Year. You're drafted in the 32nd round 2016, but you don't sign. Start out at Oxnard College, drafted again by the Cubs 2017. Then you go to, help me with the pronunciation.
Yavapai.
And then 2019, you go to Cal State Bakersfield, and this time you're drafted once again, and you decide to make the move to the pros.
Honestly, coming out of high school, like I said, I was a big football guy, so I wanted to play two sports, but most colleges wouldn't let me. I had a few offers like Eastern Washington, Sac State, but that was just for football. And, baseball, especially in California, scholarships, you got to be playing year-round. And at the time of the summer, that's when travel ball and everything's going around, I was doing a lot of football things. So the junior college route was honestly the best route for me. I was small, kind of fragile out of high school, definitely immature. Went to junior college. I threw really well, and the main reason I didn't leave then because I just felt like there was more, and I felt like it wasn't the fact that I got drafted later. I just felt like maybe I need to be in college a little bit more and have a little bit more leverage and things like that, maybe go to Division I. So that's why I decided to go to Yavapai. It was just a little better option for me. Decided to just become a full-time pitcher there. And then I didn't get drafted out of Yavapai, which was unfortunate, but good thing I ended up going to Cal State Bakersfield, developed my game a little bit more there, and everything worked out.
Yavapai, a little bit of a powerhouse too.
It is
surprising. Yavapai turns out some really good players.
Yeah, some
for
guys out of there. Obviously,
those that are in the know.
Cranny went there.
Yeah, buddy.
Years back. Kirby Yates, Cole Calhoun.
There's a lot of those schools out there.
I
like
know.
Dallas Baptist is on a really big run right now of just cranking out big leaguers. And for you, it's interesting too because the Braves as an organization, every single organization have types that they look for. And the Braves, while you and some of the other guys maybe are a little bit different in terms of physicality, how tall some of you are, whatever, a lot of you guys, like whether it's you, Winans, Dodd, Schuster when he was still around, you all have one thing in common, and that's a devastating changeup. And that's really what put you on the map for a lot of Braves fans heading into last season. Even before spring training kind of started, the word was around draft time was the Vines changeup might be the best in the draft class. And if it's not Vines, it's probably one of his draft teammates that just came through. How'd you develop that changeup?
I honestly was throwing it a lot. I was probably only throwing that majority. It was probably fastball changeup. And honestly, I didn't really pitch much.
Not a common two picks Mitch fastball change.
I didn't really pitch much in high school. Like, I only threw 35 innings my senior year, and I had a curveball, but I just couldn't really command it. So it was like it was a great pitch. Like, it was really nasty, but doesn't do you no justice.
When it went where you wanted it to.
It doesn't do you no justice if it's not a strike and people aren't swinging at it much. So I kind of had to develop a changeup just to get them off the fastball a little bit. I obviously didn't really know how to throw a slider yet until my freshman year of college. But just being able to command the changeup, I really just think fastball the whole way and just kind of like let the grip do the work. But honestly, I would say just throwing it a lot because it's
How do you grip yours? Do you go more the traditional fade grip?
I would say more traditional fade. Yeah, horseshoe in my hand.
That little split change,
yeah, the little
that's become the big
change
one.
Kind of
Yeah. Get that nice sharp late break.
Yeah, just kind of throwing it a lot because it's such a feel pitch. It's not like you literally like you just got to feel for it. You just got to be able to throw it, and it's almost fastball the whole time out of the hand, and then just let it do what it does.
I always liked pitches that you don't have to adjust your elbow rotation. When you can throw it exactly the same, and it just kind of does a little bit different. But it does. I think younger guys that are change-up heavy or change-up dominant, where the change-up is their main pitch, you learn pitchability a lot faster than you would otherwise. Now, obviously, everybody wishes they could throw 100 miles an hour.
Of course.
And that'll get you to the show. But being able to command change-ups, and I don't just mean throw it, I mean really command it like you can and like some of the other guys on the roster can. If you have a really good changeup, you don't have to worry about splits. And you're not really supposed to, I don't want to throw righty-righty changeup.
Yeah.
If you know where your changeup is going, then you're not really worried about whether that's righty-lefty. And for your first taste of big league action, you got your first win in Colorado heavily off of that changeup. And that's not a park that changeups really play well in. Did that help you set up it for your first taste of big leagues?
I would say, yeah. Obviously Travis d'Arnaud called a really good game. We stuck to our game plan. But I would say mostly that's my best pitch, and
get beat with your best,
it's
right?
no secret, literally. It's just get beat with your best, I feel like Sean Murphy said it best. He was like, a lot of guys come up and try to do too much, It's just like they haven't really seen you, so they don't really know what you have. They're still filling you out just like you're filling them out. And just being able to command that pitch and them not see it, but obviously it being really good locations, it helped. I struck out what's his name? I can't even remember right now. Third baseman McMahon.
Oh yeah, Ryan McMahon.
Yeah, I struck him out 2 times on the changeup. They were just both really good pitches, diving down, and it's just same action as the fastball. So
until about 55 feet,
literally,
it's just gone.
That's just the best part about it.
Now, you just played Arizona Fall League after this season, correct?
I did, yes.
Salt River Rafters. Explain how Fall League works, because I was doing a little research. So the Rafters are not just a Braves team, but it has prospects from Arizona, Colorado, Detroit, and the Pittsburgh Pirates, right?
Yes. So the Fall League is essentially winter ball. It's mostly for, I would say, prospects that are probably going to be in AAA, or I would say mostly probably moving to AA, AAA, on the verge of cracking the MLB. Because I think the statistics of people playing in the Fall League is I want to say 49 or 52% actually make it to the MLB after playing in the Fall League. So it's basically winter ball of a bunch of prospects combined on a team that make up a team, and there's probably 4 or 5 out there. And for me, the main reason I was out there is because I was hurt for the majority of the season, for first 2.5 months of the season. So they just wanted me to get more innings, obviously throw and see where I'm at, get healthy, and just kind of, I guess, fine-tune some things that you weren't able to work on during the season because you were a little late.
So how many games, how much work did you get in, and then what do you do between once that season's over and we'll say right now?
I think I threw, I want to say 4 or 5 starts. No more than 75 pitches a outing. So they're obviously monitoring your throwing and just making sure you're doing what you need to do. I would say mostly it was just kind of, I guess I took maybe 2 weeks off after the Fall League, it was right before Thanksgiving. So I took those few weeks off, and then now it's just been, I work out 4 times a week. It's just kind of throw every day, just a regular.
It's kind of like the Cape, basically.
Yeah,
only for once you're already in the pros.
Yeah.
Cape would be where you go play in summer after
yeah.
college and start getting used to playing wood bats and things like that. But you're right. Lots of great players come through the AFL. The Braves have a pretty good tendency of sending guys they think are soon to be in the show, that maybe you want to get them some look against some other prospects they haven't seen, some things like that. Getting up as quickly as you did, and again, just a guy that really – it set it off during spring training. When you first started getting your run, it was Jared Schuster and it was Dylan Dodd, who both just came out the gates just blazing in spring training last year.
Did.
And then all of a sudden, I can't remember if it was about 2 games after their first games or whatever, then all of a sudden you came in and you had, it might have been the same game as Dylan Dodd. I can't remember. But all they started talking about was you came in and I think you threw your first changeup and got a pretty nasty whiff on it. And then from that point on, it was Schuster, Dodd, Vines, and all 3 of you guys had almost the same level of dominance all the way through the spring, and you just carried that over into the season. How important is spring training for a guy who makes his big league debut that year?
I mean, I feel like spring training for anybody is big, and especially for a guy that's first year on the 40-man, obviously wants to make a name for himself. But, it's just not like you just stick with what you do, what got you there. It's like you're not trying to sugarcoat anything. You just, head down, work hard, and just stick with what got you there. You're obviously there for a reason. So
is there good competition between the 3 of you?
Yeah, there was. I mean, it's always like it's iron sharpens iron. Obviously everybody in our organization is good. They do well. You want to do well. It's not a sense of jealousy from anybody. It's, oh dang, you had 10 Ks.
Got to raise your game.
Dang, now I got to go try to do 11 or something. It's just like it's not a one-up. It's always just like, okay, you're just pushing each other to be better.
All right, last one for me. The Roadrunners have Cal State Fullerton today. I'm sure you know Coach Barnes. He was at Ole Miss. He was here at Georgia State. He's been there a long time. Who was your biggest rival at Bakersfield?
At Bakersfield, I would probably say UTRGV is Texas Rio Grande. Every time they came, it was just a little chirpy.
Yeah.
We got in a little, almost a bench clearing brawl with them. It was a fun time though. I was only there for 1 year, so just kind of, I guess I would say them. Maybe UCSB. We played them on 2
Gauchos.
Yeah, we played them in 2 weekday series and literally almost got into it with them too. It was kind of chirpy, but yeah, I would just say probably UTRGV.
You ever seen the inside of Buck Owens Crystal Palace?
I have not.
Not yet. Okay. That's something I got to do as well. Next time I'm out there.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, I got one more. It's a little bit of a 2-parter. Now, on the more important side of things, what was the biggest realization for you in your first taste of big league ball? Not like, oh, I learned I can do this, but what was the big takeaway facing big league hitters, learning a little bit more about how your stuff worked? And then I have to ask, who's got the best changeup in the system? All you guys. Who's got the best one?
Does a splitter count?
If it's a split change, then yeah. No 87-mile-an-hour one.
I would probably say no 87-mile-an-hour.
Nah, if you get to where it's like fastball velo.
I would say Waldrip, his splitter is pretty good, honestly.
Okay, I'll count his. It's 10-mile-an-hour difference.
Yeah,
we'll count
it's pretty nasty. But I mean, I would for sure throw myself up there.
There you go. That's what I was looking for.
I'd for sure throw myself up there. But, on the other question, I guess my first taste of realization was, I would just say after Colorado, like you said, it's not just about, like, finally getting there and saying, oh, I can actually do it. It's just, like, finally getting the realization of seeing your pitches and your stuff kind of work. And then not only that, it's when guys get a hit or guys hit a home run, it's the adjustments that you're making is what kind of, like, is the realization to me. It's obviously just, like, you see who's out there, you just got to trust them. You got an all-star team. Kind of gives you a lot more confidence to keep the ball in the ballpark and just kind of let them go make a play, Once the ball leaves your hand, it's out of your control. So, I feel like it's just control what you control and literally just confidence.
Yeah, you got everything all planned out for heading in this year?
Yeah. I wouldn't say planned out, but, I have a plan. And, I mean, hopefully we can execute and stick with it. So let's just go see what we can do. Help the team win in the best way possible, and hopefully we bring a championship back at the end of the year.
That's what it's all about. We appreciate you sitting down,
sir.
Darius. It's good to talk to you. We've been wanting to do
you
that for a bit. When we come back, it'll be Westy and I for about another half hour. We'll dig in a little bit more. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back for FanFest. We're here for the Fan 680 93.7 FM.